Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Citizens of the YouTubes, lend me your ears, because this is a very important video. This is Gamergate big. In fact, I'd go as far as to say as this is bigger than Gamergate, and in fact, I'm proposing the hashtag Shillgate, and I really hope that trends and catches on. Censorship on the internet can take different forms. Ever since the ascent of alternative media on the internet began, the mainstream media has paid a heavy cost in terms of public trust, in terms of ad revenue, and they have made every attempt to try to censor and shut down the alternative media, but they failed. Because censorship doesn't work. When the establishment makes an attempt to hide something, it only encourages people to want to seek out the truth all the more. This is what we refer to as the Streisand effect. But of late, the old guard, the legacy media establishment, and the tech giants who are in league with them, such as Google, such as Facebook, such as Twitter, they've begun refining their tactics. They've learned that just censoring alternative viewpoints doesn't work. So the new method of attack is what's known as cyber balkanization, the ghettoization of the internet, and the creation of echo chambers, hug boxes, safe spaces, in which people only hear opinions that they're already comfortable and familiar with, and are protected from alternative points of view. Now, let's use Gamergate as a hypothetical example. If Google had decided to simply shut down any account which made videos about Gamergate. So, for example, if they had banned internet aristocrat, now known as Mr. Medicare, Jim, you guys know who I'm talking about. That would have caused a tremendous Streisand effect, and people would have just sought out the truth all the more. A more effective technique than blatant censorship is to simply herd anyone who talks about Gamergate into a fenced-off free speech zone where the public won't even hear their point of view. Instead of hiding search results, instead of denying you answers to the questions you ask, it's easier and more effective to simply prevent you from ever asking those questions in the first place. This will be the future of censorship on the internet. And this is what we need to guard ourselves against. The fight for a free and open internet is about to increase in intensity and severity. And in order to prevent the internet from becoming every bit as censored as the traditional media was, TV, radio, we're going to also need to refine our techniques accordingly. On my most recent live stream session, Fakesagan Rape Society Volume 9, I got this comment from Billy Goat, and I want to sincerely thank Billy Goat for bringing this issue to my attention. This is what his comment says. Chris, don't know if you've heard of harmful opinions. And indeed, I had not, but I have now. He and TJ are in a spat right now over harmful criticism of the Candid app, which TJ says threatened his relationship with the sponsor. This is the outcome, and he posts a link. I'd recommend going to Harmful Opinions archives and checking out his Candid series. The guy had his channel taken down for the Candid criticism, then restored, but none of his old videos given back by YouTube. Now, I went ahead and I verified that claim. I fact-checked it, and it is true. This is what YouTube did. They banned Harmful Opinions' account, and when he contacted YouTube to get his account restored, they did restore it, but they did so in a very sneaky and dishonest way. Instead of simply giving him access to his old account, called Harmful Opinions, which had 100,000 subscribers, YouTube created a new account for him, also with the title Harmful Opinions, but it had no subscribers at all. None of his old videos were there. Basically, he had to start from scratch. And currently, he is sitting at 24,000 subscriptions. So he's had his audience cut down by over 3/4. And all of his old videos are gone. Currently, this is his video list as it stands. And he's got 12 videos uploaded. The first 5 of which I highly recommend everybody go and watch, and I will put a link to his new channel in the video description down below. These 5 videos, entitled Skeptic Solidarity, The Future YouTube Chose, Kegel Crooks, What Happened, and My Internet Nightmare. I consider these vital viewing material. Every bit as vital as Internet Aristocrats' Gamergate series, when Gamergate first broke. These are videos that everyone needs to watch. Especially this one here, Kegel Crooks. Because he talks about a Google-owned platform called FameBit. And FameBit is a platform which pairs up popular social media personalities with advertisers, so that the advertisers can pay those social media personalities to shill to their audiences. And not only that, but they also pay them to conceal the fact that they're being paid to shill. Speaking of shilling, let's see what my old friend, the Amazing Atheist, has to say about Candid.
We live in a time of mass communication, thanks largely to the advent of social media, but the same social media outlets that give us a voice, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, have also shown a tremendous proclivity for ideologically based censorship. That's why I'm proud to be sponsored by a great new social media app called Candid. I've already promoted them once before on this channel, and those of my audience that checked it out loved it, because it's a place where you can have honest discussions about subjects like feminism, Black Lives Matter, atheism, Islam, anything you want, really. I know the people behind Candid.
You're crazy if you thought we were going to watch the whole thing, but I do want to point something out. Did you notice the look on his face when he said the word censorship, and how he blinks his eyes like 10 times and kind of gets this squinty? There it is. There it is right there. Not to do the whole Bombard's body language thing again, but TJ just has the most comically obvious tells when he's lying his fucking ass off. Let's watch that a few times.
Media, but the same social media outlets that give us a voice, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, have also shown a tremendous proclivity for ideologically based censorship. That's why I'm proud to be sponsored. Censorship. 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 That's why I'm proud to be sponsored.
He just can't keep a straight face when he's lying. It's like he can't stand the smell of his own bullshit. Now look at the title of this video. Candid, the free speech app. That's what he characterizes it as. Well, I didn't bother taking Billy Goat's advice and checking out the Harmful Opinions archive for his videos about Candid. I did my own research. I read articles about Candid on CNET, on Engadget, and of course, the old standby Wikipedia. And let's go ahead and check this out right now. And I want all of you to be paying very, very close attention. Candid is a mobile app for anonymous discussions. It uses machine learning to create personalized news feeds of opinions and real conversations. Did you miss that? Let me read it again. It uses machine learning to create personalized news feeds. In other words, this is a safe space application. It will pair you up with other people who think the same way you do, so that you'll never have to be exposed to alternative points of view. This is an application whose sole purpose is the creation of echo chambers and hug boxes. Let me go on with the article. It uses machine learning to create personalized news feeds of opinions and real conversations, and also for moderation and filtering. Users post under pseudonyms such as Hypermantis, Sincere Giraffe, Grounded Turtle that are unique for each thread. Founder and CEO Bindu Reddy says that, and listen to this part, says that she needed a place to express myself and engage in discussions where ideas can be debated on their own merits instead of being used to attack me as a person. In other words, she needed a safe space, so she created one. And now Google is paying popular vloggers in the quote-unquote YouTube skeptic community to shill this application to the masses. Because it's not just the Amazing Atheist who's doing this, it's also Armored Skeptic, Shoe on Head, and Sargon of Akkad. We'll get to that in a little bit, but let's continue on. Which Candid tries to solve by redirecting off-topic comments to their appropriate groups. Let me read that again. Redirecting off-topic comments to their appropriate groups. In other words, cyber balkanization, the ghettoization of the internet. If you are of a right-wing political persuasion, Candid will filter you into a group with other right-wingers. If you are of a left-wing political persuasion, then Candid will file you in a group with all of the other left-wingers. You know what happens when the internet gets balkanized like this is that information does not disseminate throughout the entire public. It stays contained in its own little free speech zone. So that, for example, if a story like Gamergate were to break, it wouldn't trend among the entire population of the internet. It would only stay among its quote-unquote, and let me go ahead and highlight this, it would stay in its appropriate group. Only gamers would be talking about Gamergate instead of the whole internet talking about Gamergate, as we should. This is dangerous. This is incredibly dangerous, people. Let me continue on. Redirecting off-topic comments to their appropriate groups, removing spam, and flagging negative posts. They use natural language processing to identify hate speech, slander, and threats, and remove them accordingly with human intervention. And by the way, who defines what hate speech is? According to this natural language processing AI, which the Candid app uses? I think that's a question we should all be asking. Candid software analyzes topics and tries to flag rumors and lies as such. In other words, this Candid app will automatically, through AI, do what Facebook has done in attempting to filter out what they deem as fake news. So if you were to post an article from InfoWars or Natural News or Breitbart on the Candid app, presumably it would be analyzed and flagged as a rumor or lie. Let's go on. Users can flag problematic posts, and a team of 10 contractors will review them individually. Oh boy. With time, the system will analyze users' interactions and give them labels such as socializer, explorer, positive, influencer, hater, gossip, etc. Are you people listening to this? Are these words falling upon deaf ears? Is everybody paying attention? Are you all awake? This is fucking terrifying stuff right here. Candid has been criticized for not being anonymous and aggressive marketing. And let's talk a little bit about that aggressive marketing. Marketing so aggressive that Google, who own the Candid app, and of course who own YouTube, are banning channels such as Harmful Opinions who dare to criticize this app. Advertising so aggressive that they're paying people like The Amazing Atheist to shill their audiences for this app. Now let's get to Sargon of Akkad, because I have a special level of contempt for you, Sargon. Why? I'll tell you why. Sargon has been embroiled in a rivalry with Twitter. As you can see, right, here's a video right here. What happens when you're hacked, Jack? And he's got a picture of a dead Twitter bird as the video icon there. Now, Sargon of Akkad has had his Twitter account censored for his political speech, and he has expressed in his videos that he laments the fact that Twitter is such an ensconced part of the social media communication infrastructure of the internet that now that they have become hostile to certain forms of political speech, people like him have no alternative. He has to go where the public is in order to get views, in order for his opinion to be heard. And everybody's using Twitter. So he has no alternative but to be on Twitter. So isn't it a shame that Twitter is hostile to his brand of political speech? Well, yes, indeed, Sargon of Akkad, that is quite a shame. But let me ask you this question, Sargon. What would happen if Candid were to become an equally ensconced part of the communication infrastructure of the internet as Twitter is? What would happen to freedom of speech on the internet then? This program is the most destructive thing I've ever heard of to a free and open internet. It has everything to do with the creation of safe spaces, with the creation of echo chambers and hug boxes, ghettoization, the balkanization of the internet, protecting people from hearing opinions that they're unfamiliar with and with which they may not agree. Add to that the fact that it uses AI to filter out what it deems to be hate speech and to categorize opinions as rumors and lies. In other words, fake news. And you've got a recipe for the destruction of a free and open internet. Were this candid application to gain mainstream, wide-scale acceptance, such as that enjoyed by Twitter. Now, to my knowledge, Sargon of Akkad has not actually shilled for Candid himself. However, he is taking the position that members of the quote-unquote skeptic community on YouTube who are shilling for this program, such as The Amazing Atheist, such as Armored Skeptic, such as Shoe on Head, should not be criticized. They should be immune from criticism. That members of the skeptic community should be above reproach. They should be allowed to shill and lie to their audiences without being called out on it. Because he feels that there should be solidarity in the skeptic community. That when it comes to the big, highly subscribed channels, it's us versus them. It's us versus the plebs, right? Well, when the mainstream media was exposed as the liars they are, attempting to distort and control public opinion for the furtherance and protection of the establishment narrative, they paid a cost. They paid a cost in terms of public trust, which is the lowest it's ever been in the mainstream media. And they're paying a cost in terms of ad revenue, which they're losing. Furthermore, when the gaming journalism establishment was caught lying to their readership in the instance of Gamergate, they paid a cost. These websites like Rock Paper Shotgun and Kotaku paid a cost because gamers turned on them. Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTubes, I ask you this question. Now that we've been betrayed by our own, now that the skeptic community on YouTube have sold out to Google, are they going to pay the same cost? Or are we going to give them a pass? Well, I can't speak for everybody else, but speaking for myself, the answer is yes. Fuck you, Sargon of Akkad. Unsubscribed. In the case of TJ here, I can't unsubscribe because I was never subscribed to his boring ass in the first place. But I can do the next best thing and get his fat fucking face off my monitor. Goodbye, TJ. You know, Styx Hexenhammer 666 gave a wise and prescient warning to his audience. He warned us not to, in his words, lionize popular figures within the alternative media. He gave this warning because he feared that these people would eventually be bought, that they would sell out, that the alternative media would become every bit as controlled as the legacy media has been. He warned us not to lionize figures such as Milo Yiannopoulos, The Amazing Atheist, Sargon of Akkad, Armored Skeptic, and indeed himself, Styx Hexenhammer 666. He said it. He said, "Don't even lionize me." Well, those were wise words. And I think that his warning should be heeded. And when I tell you, my audience, such as you are, my meager, small audience, when I tell you to go to Harmful Opinions channel and to watch these 5 videos, Skeptic Solidarity, the future YouTube shows, Kegel Crooks, What Happened, and My Internet Nightmare, I'm not telling you to lionize Harmful Opinions. Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube, it's a sad fact, but it is a fact. There's no one we can trust. Anyone who's elevated to celebrity status will eventually sell out. They'll do it for the money. They'll do it for fame. And when they do, the effect will be the same as the effect which caused the mainstream media to be the corrupt liars that they are in the first place. Money corrupts. And people who start out with the best of intentions, people who start out with the intention of delivering an honest viewpoint, a political message, with reporting the truth, they eventually become corrupted by success. That's just the way things are. It's a sad fact of life. We can't prevent that from happening. But what we can do is make sure that people who turn on us pay a price. The skeptic community here on YouTube are no longer on the side of a free and open internet. They've been bought by Google, and they can no longer be trusted. I say this not because I'm a Christian and I have something against skeptics. That is not the case. I may be a Christian, but I'm not a theocrat. I am every bit an American. I believe in secular government. I believe in the separation of church and state. I may be an Eastern Orthodox Christian, but that doesn't mean I want an Eastern Orthodox government. I believe that everyone should have the religious freedom to worship as they see fit, or, in the case of skeptics and atheists, to refrain from worshiping as they see fit. However, it's clear that the skeptic community on YouTube have turned on us. Do not give these people your money. Do not donate to their Patreons. And if you're subscribed, unsubscribe. Make them pay a cost for their betrayal, the same way gaming journalism had to pay a cost for Gamergate. The same way the mainstream media had to pay a cost for shilling for Hillary Clinton's campaign. If we do not hold media accountable, whether it's mainstream or alternative media, then we only have ourselves to blame when we're kept in the dark and shackled by lies and deceit. That's all the news that's fit to print. Keep it fake.